Hello guys, welcome to Basic Nursing Classes. My name is Amanpreet. Today we are going to discuss a very important and a very basic topic in nursing, that is acid base balance. Okay, every nurse should know when the body is going into acidic condition and when it's going into basic condition. Basic condition we all know, it's alkalosis. Okay, so for acid base balance, first you should know, the nurse should know the normal levels which maintain the acid base balance in the body. Okay, for that you have to remember four things. First is pH level, second is bicarbonate ions, third is carbon dioxide level, and fourth one is oxygen level. So let's move on with the pH. The normal pH is 7.35 to 7.45, and bicarbonate level it's 22 to 26. Carbon dioxide level is 35 to 45, and oxygen level is 78 to 100. For acid base balance, you guys have to normally focus on three things, that is pH level, bicarbonate level, and carbon dioxide level, because oxygen level doesn't play a very important role. Okay, it's not a major player. So let's discuss. You guys have to remember two things mainly. First is about bicarbonate level. The bicarbonate ions, these are mainly responsible for making a condition basic, and carbon dioxide, it's responsible for making any condition acidic. So anywhere, any environment where the level of bicarbonate is high, that will be basic, and any place where the level of carbon dioxide is high, that will be acidic. Okay, or vice versa. For example, where the acid level of bicarbonate will be less, it will be acidic. Okay, but if there will be less carbon dioxide, then obviously that will be basic. Okay, you have to remember both sides. Okay, so the body can go either into alkalosis or into acidosis, and both can be either metabolic or respiratory. Okay, so we can divide both them into metabolic acidosis and respiratory acidosis, and metabolic alkalosis as well as respiratory alkalosis. So obviously from the name itself, the metabolic acidosis, its acidic condition, pH level will be less than 7.35, and in acidic condition it's metabolic, it's related to bicarbonate, the level will be less. Okay, and respiratory, related to carbon dioxide. Okay, acidic, level will be high. Okay, and in alkalosis, metabolic, bicarbonate ions are responsible, alkalosis level will be high, and respiratory, obviously carbon dioxide. Okay, in alkalosis level will be less. So pay attention to these levels when we are checking the ABG. Okay, and in acidic condition, there will be signs and symptoms in every system. So a nurse has to look upon the signs and symptoms in the patient. Okay, so let's discuss the signs and symptoms in both acidosis and alkalosis. In acidosis, as the body level, pH level will go down, the signs and symptoms also will go down. Everything will be in down condition except potassium, that will go up. Okay, and alkalosis, everything will go up except potassium, which will go less. Okay, for example, in acidic condition, the heart rate will be decreased, in brain there will be loss of consciousness, lungs decrease, respiration rate, bowel will be the bowel movements will be low. Okay, and reflexes will go down, muscle tone will be decreased, and potassium level will be increased. So now potassium is very very important. We already discussed in the previous video. So keep an eye on potassium levels. High potassium levels are very danger to the heart. And in alkalosis, everything will be up. Increase heart rate, irritability, increase respiration, there will be diarrhea, reflexes will go up, and muscle tone will be high. Okay, so remember these things. This is an easy way to remember the sign and symptoms. Okay, which is going to happen in both acidosis and alkalosis. So except from sign of symptoms, the nurse should know the causes behind acidosis and alkalosis. So let's discuss the reasons. First of all, let's discuss metabolic acidosis. The reason behind metabolic acidosis obviously is related to bicarbonate, okay, and its acidic condition. The reason can be if there is too much acid in the body. For example, DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. Okay, there are too much ketones in the body. Okay, and decreased acid excretion from the body. The kidneys are mainly responsible for excreting the things. Okay, the kidney is not able to excrete too much acid from the body, so too much acid is accumulating inside the body, so acidosis will be there. Okay, third reason can be loss of bicarbonate ions. For example, diarrhea. Okay, in diarrhea there will be loss of bicarbonate ions. And in diarrhea, remember one thing, diarrhea obviously it leads to metabolic acidosis, and in acidosis everything will go down. Okay, so in bowel the activity of bowel will go less. Okay, so if the activity of bowel will go less, it will lead to paralytic ileus. Okay, so these two are opposite to each other. Diarrhea will lead to paralytic ileus if it is not corrected. Okay, the acidic condition is not corrected, it can lead to paralytic ileus. Okay, so let's move on to respiratory acidosis, the main reasons behind it. Okay, the first reason is respiratory difficulty. The patient is not able to breathe. Okay, and in the reason, there are many reasons behind respiratory difficulty. For example, the patient is not able to get rid of excessive carbon dioxide. There can be impaired gas exchange inside the lungs. Okay, and these conditions can be in pneumonia. Okay, when there is excessive mucus production inside the alveoli, in the bronchioles, too much mucus inside the bronchioles, the gas exchange will be poor. Okay, the body is not able to get rid of carbon dioxide, so excessive carbon dioxide is accumulating inside the body, and excessive carbon dioxide will lead to acidic condition. Okay, third is CNS depressant. So in CNS depressant, for example, opioid use or morphine or fentanyl, so all these will decrease the respiratory rate. Okay, if the respiratory rate is decreased, so obviously the level of the patient is not able to get rid of carbon dioxide, so carbon dioxide will accumulate inside the body, it will lead to acidosis. Okay, and last thing is asthma. In asthma also, and in COPD conditions, there will be impaired gas exchange, the patient is not able to breathe normally. Okay, so that will lead to acidic condition and damage to the alveoli, the elasticity of the alveoli that is decreased, so all these conditions will lead to acidic condition. Okay, now move on to alkalosis. First discuss the metabolic alkalosis. Alkalosis means pH level is beyond 7.45. Okay, it's either to the loss of acid, when we lose lot of acids, for example the gastric acid. Okay, so if the gastric acid is removed from the body, for example through vomiting or excessive suctioning, that will lead to basic condition. Okay, and apart from loss of acid, if there is increased bicarbonate production inside the body. Okay, and other thing can be like increased urine production. When we give Lasix, there will be increased urine production. Okay, so excessive base acids, they are going to secrete through the kidney. So kidney is losing a lot of acids beyond the normal level. So loss of acids are, they are very high, so it will lead to alkalosis. Okay, and ingestion of alkali products which are basic in nature, for example baking soda or antacids, these all are basic. So if you intake the ingestion of these alkali basic products are very high, so it will lead to alkalosis. And other thing is soda bicarb, which we give IV. So excessive intake of soda bicarb, it will also lead to alkalosis. Okay, so now let's move on to respiratory alkalosis. So respiratory, it's obviously related to carbon dioxide. Okay, so in respiratory alkalosis, there will be hyperventilation, opposite to acidosis. Okay, the patient is hyperventilating, he's breathing more, breathing very high. Okay, tachypnea. So we have to now look for the reasons behind tachypnea. The main reason first can be fever. In fever, there will be increased heart rate and increased respiratory effort. So patient is hyperventilating, he is excreting lot of carbon dioxide from the body. Okay, so apart from fever, there is pain level. The pain level is increased, the patient will be breathing very highly. Okay, the level of respiratory rate will go high, the patient will go in tachypnea. Okay, so the level of carbon dioxide will go less inside the body, he is hyperventilating. Apart from that, aspirin toxicity. Okay, if the patient, for example, the patient has ingested a bottle of aspirin tablets, so he will hyperventilate. Okay, and apart from that, there is one condition, hysteria. Hysteria is an anxiety attack. In anxiety, the patient's the respiratory effort is increased. Okay, whenever the patient is in anxiety, his heart rate and respiration rate will go high. Obviously the patient will hyperventilate. Okay, and other thing is neurological injuries, mainly to the respiratory center in the brain, that is medulla and pons. Okay, if there is damage to that area, that will lead to hyperventilation, and all these things will ultimately lead to decreased level of carbon dioxide inside the body, and the production of a basic condition inside the body. Okay, so these are all things you have to remember, and in next video we will discuss about the compensation of acidosis and alkalosis, both in metabolic and respiratory. So there are many questions in exams when we have to look upon the condition when the patient is in an compensated condition or uncompensated condition or partial compensated condition. Okay, so we will discuss in the next class. So till then, just focus on these things and read out. Just understand the basic formula behind acidic condition and basic condition, and you will be fine. Okay, good luck for exam. Thank you.